Okay, well, welcome to On the Couch. We're back for 2024-2025 season. So, yeah, we're going to bring you the wrap up of the action from round one. We were going to bring you the points for round two, but we haven't quite got them all worked out yet. There's a few things that are still sitting with the judiciary, and it might muck up the results, so we don't want to guess those. But we'll definitely do the wrap up from one. We just want to thank our sponsors right from the start. SAS Auto Sports, Code 9, Royale, they're our naming sponsors for this year. And our class sponsors being Anglo Engineering, for all your engineering and sheet metal needs. 24 Red Racing for the affordable source of high performance motorsport gear. Soft Source V-Bridge for an innovative provider of ICT services and business solutions. And Burst NZ, a new sponsor that's come into the motor racing scene, hasn't been around for that long, but has put their backing into us. So they're there for all our oral health care, developed by and for New Zealanders. So you might hear a little bit more about that later on when we talk to our person that's on the couch tonight, which is our two-time back-to-back champion in the Anglo series, and he's looking for the three-peat, and that's Mike Forrest. How you doing, Mike?
G'day. Yeah, good. Thanks for having me here.
Well, that's three more words than we thought we were going to get out. So, yeah, some of the things we want to talk about tonight. We want to talk about the numbers of entrants that are coming, the numbers of cars that are sitting in sheds, and we know they're out there, and we know you want to come racing, and we want to know why. So if you've got some questions, you want to fire it to us. Is this live? We will take it. We've got Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hi.
You know,
Brian.
So yeah, Brian will take the questions and he'll fire them at us, and we'll do our best to answer it. Obviously, we've got my good mate Matt Gorman over there, looking fantastic in your OK Cup shirt, mate.
Always.
How come yours is white?
Because I buy extra shirts.
Yeah,
I
thought
support the brand.
I thought I just got a grubby one, you know.
This is limited edition to me only.
Well, it's pretty limited when there's only one.
Yeah, it's a prototype.
We'll be talking about the barbecue. We'll be talking a little bit about the Rebel class. For those of you that don't know what the Rebel is, we'll talk about that. And we'll be talking about this bad boy in the centre of the table here, which is not the pen holder or the yellow car, but the actual cup, the Team's Cup, which is coming back this year. So, Matt, do you want to kick off with that? You know how the Team's Cup's going to be. No idea.
No idea.
Okay.
I'm guessing you have a team and you nominate another car and you race as a team, and your points at the end mean you're the best team.
Correct. So,
yes.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you guys are a team?
We are.
And the two Rebel guys are running as a team, aren't they?
So the concept is you don't have to be in the same class to be in the same team. So you can have somebody in Class A or Class B, and they can be teammates. So you can put your team together. It's not too late to nominate a team member. There's only two that I know of that have started so far, which is Lounsey and Bruce Simmons, and Mike and myself. So we're the only two teams at the moment. But hey, get your entries in and have a crack at this bad boy, because there's some fantastic names on that trophy, and we'd like to see yours on it. So yeah, what else are we going to talk about? We'll talk about the numbers. We'll talk about the elephant in the room, right? How many do we have this round?
15, but I think we only ended up with 11 finishing on race 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, 15 is not really enough.
No, it's not.
So yeah, just trying to figure out what we can do to get people more able to compete. Maybe get some entries in that what it would take to get more people to sign up. Whether we're doing it wrong, whether it's just a bad timing and the economy's bad. But if there's anyone with any smart ideas, we
can all help each other out too. Like sometimes might not necessarily just be money, but it's time. So in the spirit of OK Cup, people can help each other out. You know, dedicate half a day on a weekend to help somebody get their car finished, or
Yeah, for sure.
whatever it might be, just to help get your mates out there, because more of us out on the track, the funner it is, obviously. So.
Yeah. Look, I mean, round one we started off. We had 21, I think. You know, there was a little bit of nutrition happening in that. We had a few people.
Nutrition or attrition?
Attrition, sorry. Yeah, close.
Eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
For the nutrition.
Got to get your 5+ of that. Yeah, we had a few drop numbers. We had some people with blown motors. We had some people with blown clutches, CV joints. We had a couple of people overseas for work commitments. So I mean, we know these things happen, but we also know that there's a lot of cars out there. And this season, we've opened up a new. We won't actually call it a class because it's not really a recognised class, but we've called it the Rebel Shield. So the Rebel Shield consists of cars that are just outside of our rules. So they might have adjustable shocks or
illegal tyres or
performance
mods
or
whatever.
Yeah. So, but as long as you're around that 120 mark, we want to say you can come race with us. You race on the same grid. You just don't go into one of the 4 main classes.
Yeah, we're basically keeping that 120 as a breakout. If you're faster than that, then you're probably too fast for our class. We've already got cars that are doing 130. We don't want to have massive stretch, so we don't want any of the Honda Cup guys turning up doing 112s or whatever.
Yeah, being lapped once is humiliating enough. We don't need to be lapped 2-3 times in a race.
But so yeah, the Rebel cars are cars that would normally fit in our series if they were unmodified or we're running OEM configuration. And some drivers like to modify their car or race in other series where modifications are required or whatever. We just want to give them an opportunity to come race with us as well. So
yeah, and you can take advantage of the cross entry fees too. So if you're already running in production class series, it's actually a lot cheaper to cross entry in with us on the same weekend if we're all there. Is that correct? Yeah. So obviously take advantage of that. It's like getting an extra hour and a bit on the track for probably half the price.
Yeah. I like if you look at some of the cars that are out there that are around it, and I had a look at the speed high from the last round because we were there with the production people, and take nothing away from Martin and Kim. They do a wonderful job with the production series. Fantastic amount of cars in the first and the second round. But talking to them, even their numbers are slightly down this year. So maybe there's an opportunity that some of those guys could come and do some with us, and we can go and do some with them, and just keep the motorsport thing alive. But yeah, look, they've got a whole group of cars in there that are all around that 120, 129 bracket, which all fit pretty much in hand glove with us. So.
And feedback I've had from production racing guys is that the 33 minutes gives them a much different experience than they get in their own series. So crossing over and doing a bit of endurance type racing like we do is a good opportunity to get a lot of track time.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, for anybody that thinks that going around Hampton Downs for 33 minutes is easy, if you sit on my cans and listen to what I'm saying, I'm asking how many minutes we've got left to go.
I think we all are.
It's a long time and it gets really hot in those cars.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did
so
you not have air conditioning in yours?
I turned the fan on that last race.
Oh, you do have air conditioning.
No air conditioning, but I did turn the fan on. Okay, so let's recoup some. We'll go back to round one. So round one was Hampton Downs.
Yep.
Had a beautiful fine day.
It was good.
It was.
Considering the forecast was thunderstorms.
Yeah. So if we run through the points that were allocated for round one, and we'll go through the classes. So Anglo Engineering Class A, which is the yellow banner that you'll see across the windscreen, that was taken out by Hugh Paris in the little Saxo, and so he's got maximum points out of the round. He was phenomenally quick. He was just so quick. Mike, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree. He was pretty quick. I tried for probably the first 15-20 minutes to try and catch him, and I think my tyres were pretty much scrubbed by then. And he's just real consistent with his times, like not balls to the wall straight out, but he's just consistent the entire time. So he'll just pull that lead on you over and over again each lap, and Yeah, by halfway it's just like there's no point, because you'll just end up burning everything you've got. So I'll just drop back and battle with you instead.
Yeah, and they were good battles too, to be honest. And then the second place we've got yourself. You're sitting on 98, so you're only 2 points adrift of them.
Yeah.
And that's going to come quite important because Hugh was overseas. He was in Sydney for last weekend. So yeah, he wasn't there. So that's obviously going to make a difference to the season points. And then myself on 96. So I'm only 4 points off the leader. So I'm pretty happy with that. Then we go to Class B, which is 24 red. Obviously, it's got the red banner across the windscreen, and we've got Greg Larson in the Honda Civic. And I don't know what Greg's done, but he's just found some pace. He is quick.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean,
I think he likes the new tyres that he's running.
So he's running the Yokos?
He's running the Yokos.
Running the Yokos. Okay, cool.
So I don't know if that's why it's quick or he's just had more practice, but I think maybe they suit his driving style or something. But maybe he's just gotten quick.
Well, it's a quick little car anyway.
It is a quick car.
Yeah, it's a quick car.
It's a very quick car.
Yeah.
I've raced Greg from day one, and like he's just consistently getting better and better and better. Right?
Yeah, it could be a bit of off-season prep in there too, and making sure the car was.
It's because he took all the stickers off and it's all smooth and shiny now. So
There's no ripple down the
yeah,
side.
it just cuts through the air.
And I don't think we've seen Andrew yet this season.
Oh, he was there visiting at round one. He didn't drive though.
We haven't seen him behind the wheel yet.
No, I don't think he's racing this season. I think he's overseas.
Okay, all right. And then we've got the first of the rookies. So we've got young Logan Moore. This is his first season in the Toyota Levin. So he took out second in round two. Second in overall for round one. For a rookie, that's pretty good going.
Well, there's only two cars that finish.
No.
It's not really the point.
I'm just bitter because I didn't finish.
Yeah, look, we'll talk about the 53 car, mate. We'll talk about it.
Despite the fact that he drove the wheels off it.
Too soon. Now that you brought it up, obviously the 53 cars in third with no points.
With 0 points.
So how does that work?
Yeah. DNF will do that to you. Yeah. No, I'm still not giving up on that thing. It's not fast and it's not reliable. Yeah.
But it's only Cooper S.
Yeah. No, it'll be alright. I think once we eliminate all the weak points and fix up all the stuff that needs to be fixed up, it'll be alright.
It's a fresh build, mate.
Yeah.
You're always going to have
First
teething
season.
issues and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's expected.
Look, to be fair, I've been around motorsport for many years, and with people like Wayne Anderson who builds cars for a living, it's really hard to build a car straight out of the box, go onto the track, and it's a while.
Especially when you're time and budget constrained. We only got the roll cage in that car the week of the first race and had it signed off like 2 days before the race. Struggling just to get the car back together in time to actually drive it to the track. So, we're pushing the limit just to even get there for that round. So.
Yeah, and the fact, like you said, that you drive the car to the track too, that's a massive thing because there's a lot more that goes into it rather than just putting it on a trailer. I still have hopes that it'll be a fun car. It feels good to drive, but I don't think it's going to be crazy fast or anything. But that's not what it's about.
No, exactly. And there's a heap of them out there.
Still faster than
they're cheap.
the MX-5s, mate.
Yeah, and there's lots of them out there and they're cheap cars, so it's a good option if it ends up being allowed to get points at the end of the season.
Yeah, we might see more of them.
It could be a good option for people to buy. Especially, there's a lot of people that really are fanboys of the Mini Coopers. So.
And to be fair, you grab yours off now, right?
Hey? No. I just bought mine off Facebook Marketplace. Just some rando.
Good love on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I think it had been sitting for a while, but they're all pretty tired.
Yeah, look, they're a good option. And then we've got an interesting one, but on 0 points with you is Craig Stevens. So Craig actually entered the round, but didn't turn up.
Yeah.
so we've
he had an issue or something the day before, right?
Yeah, and I don't think he managed to get through to us that he was out when he still managed to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, he had a problem at round 2 as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, but at least he did go round and round on round 2, which is
more than some cars.
Yeah. Then we go to Class C. So Class C is the green banner, and it's the Soft Source V Bridge, who are also new to, well, they're new to us as OK Cup. They're not new to me because they've always been my sponsor from day one. And now this year they've jumped up that notch and they've gone to be a class sponsor as well. And we thank them for that. And leading that after the first round was Alan Lowndes. I mean, that Nissan Pulsar, Jesus.
Quick, eh?
It is quick.
Yeah.
Very, very quick. And Alan's no slug. He knows how to pedal, right?
Sure.
You can talk about him later. I'll give you two.
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, he didn't. Right. And then in the second place on 96 points is the Alan Thompson MR2, was it? No.
I don't know which car you're talking about.
So Ken Tyler's MR2,
Yeah. No,
which is in the Golf livery, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
I can't remember whose car it was.
It'll come to me.
Right. So Ken's one of those two. We've got two people that we've stepped up this year into different classes. One was Craig. We took him out of the really slow group because he's actually matured quite well as a driver, and his car is actually in that second class. And we've got Craig who's gone up to Ken who's gone up to Class C in the MR2.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it fair for other people with the same cars. There's no point having the same car in two different classes.
No.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I talked to Ken and I said to him,
He's not slow, eh?
I said, you've increased your speed, mate. You've done really, really well. And he goes, I think it's because I'm racing with faster people.
I had battles with him in my first season, or second season, my first season of OK Cup, with my own car, and I had battles with him where the two of us would be all race long back and forth. But yeah, I probably couldn't keep up with him now. So his driver ability's definitely gone up.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely improved.
That car's fast in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you can keep the speed up.
It's also fast when it spins around in front of you.
Well,
I had that a few times.
MR2s tend to do that.
Yeah.
Once they go, they snap oversteer. That's it. See you later.
Yeah. And then third for the round was Jason Payne in the red Toyota Altezza.
You're doing some drifting in that round, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jason's a long-term campaigner, and he's a hard charger. He likes to put the pedal down.
Yeah.
He's no slow.
Actually got some footage of him sideways tandem drifting with Mark Mallard right in front of me too.
Yeah. I'm sure he was doing something on purpose. It wasn't just accidental.
As a nice little segue, because Mark's in there on 49 points in the other MR2.
Yeah.
Right? And for those that don't know, Mark's got two MR2s. So one has a limited slip and one doesn't have a limited slip.
So these look identical because I only thought he had one.
Well, Mark has this sort of Ford approach to cars. You can have any colour as long as it's black, right?
Matte black, the rattle can matte black, yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, Mark's pretty good on maintenance as long as somebody else does it. Right? He'll pretty much tell you that straight. And I mean, we all like Mark. He's been around a long time and he's helped us out a lot. And then in fifth place we've got Carl Driver in the Toyota Current. And Carl's no slug either. He can pedal when he wants to. But I think he had a bit of a shocker in that second race. He lost the clutch, I think it was.
I didn't lose.
So yeah, he only did the one race. So did Mark.
Because he was back for round two, so he was obviously sorted it out.
Yep. And then we go to Class D, which is the Burst NZ, or your oral health news. What is it? New Zealand developed from New Zealand people. Yeah, that's us.
That's the one.
All right. So taking out the top spot was Steve Lancaster in the BMW 323i. Right. He was quick. Very, very quick.
All those BMWs are quick though.
Oh.
Most of them. When they're running.
Oh. That seems to be the theme with BMWs, but
yeah, they turn up to 1 race, 1.5 races, something like that. Yeah.
But hey, look, and then we've got a gaggle. Do you call them a gaggle of Honda Integras? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
they're like geese.
Yeah.
Sure.
A flock.
Okay, so we've got Dave Wright sitting on 97 points in the Honda Integra. And then we've got the second of the rookies, which is Daniel Douglas, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting on 94 points. And then we go back to Hayden Buckingham in the Honda Accord. Hayden couldn't be with us for the second round because his daughter's birthday. I really question your family loyalty. OK Cup is your family, Hayden.
Yeah, I actually had my son's birthday at the track.
Yeah, well, you actually did.
I did.
You
Round
did.
one, yeah.
Round one.
It was bad his birthday at the track.
So Hayden had to retire early in one of those races, right? So
He
he
did.
lost some points. But yeah, man, he was fast. So fast.
Hayden's been around now for what, 3-4 seasons?
Yeah, but we used to battle him in the Civic, and he used to generally be quicker than him. In the straights, he's got heaps of torque, big motor.
Yeah.
But we used to be able to outbrake and corner him enough to stay in front. But I don't know if we would be able to do that anymore. He's just 120 point something.
Yeah,
That's quick, man.
He's quick.
He's quick.
Then we've got Dave Bailey in the Toyota Celica. So Dave also had some problems.
Yeah.
He did a CV.
Yeah, see that joint.
Yeah.
Right, and then he had some commitments this weekend that he couldn't be there. So,
Yeah.
Dave will be back for round 3. He's told us he's back for round 3. And then we've got James Whitlock. Now, James Whitlock, interestingly, after round 1 was on 20 points, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to ask yourself, how do you get 20 points,
Not even turning up.
right? And he didn't even get his car to the track. Well, that's because he got his volunteering points added in. So remember, guys, if you volunteer, do 1 day's volunteering, you get 20 points. It's a one-off deal. So if you want an extra 20 points come the end of the season, that's where you pick it up.
And that makes all the difference, especially if you crash your car and miss around it.
Yes,
Just
it
gonna put
does.
that out there. Makes all the difference.
Yes.
But it's also a really good day out.
It is.
John and I did a day out there at Hamptons last season, and big eye opener to all the effort that goes in from the volunteers. It's one thing to just get out on track, have a great time. You give them a toot and a wave at the end, and it's all done. But just the early mornings, they don't get paid to be out there, and just all the safety procedures that they go through to make sure that we're all safe and having a good time and everything. So,
and these guys do it weekend on weekend for nothing, other than the love of the sport and just wanting to help out. If they weren't there, we wouldn't be able to race. So
exactly,
giving them a hand once in a year is a very small thing to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So even if you want to do, obviously the points are only there for the one time, but I'd suggest get out there more than once if you can. If you've got a free
I know that.
Bring the kids or whatever and get the family to help.
Yeah, I know that James Whitlock's looking at going to Taupo to do another one down there, which is where he did his first one. But you're right. The amount of effort that goes on in behind the scenes.
Yeah, that you just don't
that
see.
you never ever see. And it's just it is. It's a tribute to Deb Day and the Day family, because I know just about all of them have all signed up.
Yeah.
And there is just, in those grid girls, the grid kids, they just do such a good job making sure that we're all in the right spot going out, and they just deserve a hell of a pat on the back.
Yeah. And a little perspective is we all get there super early in the morning, and they're already there before we get there. So that's how early these guys are getting up for nothing. So get out there and volunteer, guys.
Right, and then we come to the Rebel Shield. Well, the Rebel Shield is based on wins and your position, and there is a shield. I should have brought it up, but it's down sitting on the trailer. It's a shield, and you get to sign if you are the round winner. So the winner of round 1 was Warren Kreller.
Surprises there.
No surprises there. His BMW was just on fire. He
was on fire.
He was on fire. Maybe that's why he was so quick.
In a hurry to get to the host.
I mean, no disrespect to Woz. Woz can drive anything. He can drive a Mazda. He can drive a
Can't drive my Mini.
Well, no one can drive a Mini at the moment, mate.
He would probably make it go faster than you.
I haven't driven it.
Neither has Ben, apparently.
Ben drove half a race, so he's had half a race more than I've had.
No, fair enough. Right behind Warren and giving him a good chase was Jason Ward. Now, Jason is pretty quick. He's a long time campaigner. It's good to see him back this year. And he's loving the fact that there's a class that will allow him to race, because technically he wouldn't have been able to fit into our rules, but by having the Rebel Shield, he does. And he wasn't that far behind Warren, to be fair. I mean, he gave him a pretty good run for his money. And then behind him we had Dingo. Dean Jones? Yep. And the Toyota Altiza. I mean, yeah, Dingo's been around for a while. He doesn't take prisoners. So that was the wrap up of round one, and then we go to round two. So round two was also Hampton Downs. It would be best described as a day of two halves.
Weather-wise.
Yeah. We started off with a brilliant qualifying. It was nice and dry. It was cold, but dry, which means optimum performance for your car. I had a pretty good qualifier. How'd you go?
Yeah, it was like just enough time out there to get the tyres to that temp where you could put in a solid good lap, maybe two if you're lucky, and then it was time to come in. But yeah, that was definitely optimal qualifying. But kind of sort of went all downhill after that, sort of towards the afternoon. But
oh, come on, it wasn't that bad.
It was
maybe not for you, it wasn't that bad, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know, race one was in the dry. It was no surprises. Everyone sort of finished where we thought everyone would. There was no real surprises there, and we'll bring you the wrap up of round two when we get all the points. But then we went into race two, and race two, reverse grid, handicap race, and shortened because
earlier incidents of the day.
There was an earlier incident with another class during the day, and everybody had to take a shortening of their laps, and well done to the officials for actually working that out.
Yeah.
So we went from 33 minutes down to 28, which we thought was it was pretty good. You know, a lot of guys in the sprint races lost, laps. So when you're only racing
6 laps to start with,
when you're only racing for 6 laps, you're down to 5. It makes it awfully hard to work handicaps in that out. A big thumbs up to the handicappers for this round, Warren and James. You did a good job. The handicaps were spot on. I think it should rain every round. I really, really do.
So the race started dry.
It did.
And then it finished relatively dry.
Yeah, and then it just opened up, gale force winds, all the gazebos were going everywhere while they were out there racing. I was buttering bread in the rain. And then it cleared up and they all came back in the sunshine and had prize giving. It was kind of weird. It was very spontaneous weather.
Yeah, look, I can tell you from my point of view, I was lucky enough to start alongside you off pole, and I could see the black clouds were coming.
So I was taking photos going, oh, it's looking pretty dark.
I knew we probably had 2, maybe 3 laps of dry, so we had to make as much advantage as we could off that pole.
Yeah, especially on the handicap guys behind us.
Yeah, so I mean, I just, well, I'll let you describe the start.
The start, I think I was having a snooze. If you watched the video too that I posted of that second race, he got me off the start. But I had you by the end of the first lap, so.
Yeah, well,
But again, dry track, so. But yeah, and then after that, once the rain came, I could. It was a bit like that movie Jaws, when you've got the in your mirror, and he caught me by halfway through the race, or maybe 2/3 or something like that. But yeah, that was definitely interesting, especially when your tyres aren't the best. But managed to get there in the end. A bit of a dry line at the end. So.
Are you a bit scared of the rain?
No, I'm scared of the rain when you don't have great tread left on your tyres. Like those tyres were perfect in the dry, and the track dried by the end, and there was a dry line which I managed to use to get around the old man by the end of the race. So, but
some people have a mental barrier for wet weather racing. I'm not good in the wet.
Yeah, my first race in the rain was actually at Manfield, and it was my first time at Manfield too. And I think we got a dry qualifying, but the first race was quite. I don't think it was quite as bad as what it was at Hamptons last weekend, but it was pretty bad. And yeah, definitely a bit of a curveball, especially when we've never done it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, that particular round we had relatively newish tyres, and this last round we were using a set of older tyres, mainly because the weather was so good. You know, probably better to have them closer to slick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's not in the wet.
yeah, not so much in the wet. Don't try that at home, kids.
No, look, I mean, I'll give Jared from Sistino a pretty good plug. Like, if I hadn't known it was going to be as wet as it was, I would have definitely gone out and bought a set of Sistinos.
Yeah.
Sistino tyres are actually really, really good wet weather tyres.
Way better than wet.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to Callum, he'll tell you that they are the top performing tyre in the week. So yeah, Jared, if you don't get any sales out of that, give me a call.
Yeah. And yeah, if you don't believe us, talk to Callum Pratt, because yeah, I've seen him. He literally drives circles around everybody with those Sistinos on the week.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I mean, you and I had some great battles in that race. I mean, we had great battles in the first race.
First race was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
You guys were like just
Again,
swapping
go to
places
YouTube and
all
watch
the
the
time.
video of that. It's great. It's
Yeah.
obviously only from one angle, but it's still a great watch. Yeah.
We'll put a link up on this so that you can actually go to the Minion Racing YouTube channel and you can have a look at Mike's
I
footage.
don't know if that's fair.
To be fair, you could go to YouTube and just type in OK Cup, and I think you'll get quite a few of our drivers post their footage there. And it's a great watch from any angle, from anybody's car, because you can watch yourself be passed or.
It looks a lot
passing
slower when you're watching it in a car.
It does.
You're like,
It feels
why
like
don't you just
we're
go
doing
faster?
Yeah.
It looks like you could go heaps faster. Just go faster. Yeah.
But yeah, race one was a good battle. We swapped the lead probably 4 times.
Oh, more than that.
You guys were door to door for
Must have
half a
been
lap.
closer to
a couple
10
of times.
times.
It was
Yeah.
quite cool.
Yeah, speaking of door to door, what were you and Lousy trying to do?
I don't know what he was trying to do. No, I think his gearbox or something went after turn 4, between 4 and 5 as he was going up the hill, and I already had a really good run on you out of 4, and I didn't want to give that up. And so as we both went into break and he went to turn, I think he was watching you to make sure he was clear from you, because he obviously had no power and didn't realise that there was 2 of us. And then I tried to sneak down the inside as he turned in, but I mean, I watched the footage back and I was nowhere near his driver's door, so in all fairness, probably should have braked and pulled out, but I just, red missed and I didn't want to let you get it, to be fair, so sorry about that, Lounsey.
Yeah,
I've got a really good buff, so I can clean that up for you. The dent on my guard, maybe not so much.
What's his gearbox? You buffed that out?
No, I mean, that was broken before.
Yeah, I know, but you know, while you're there, you might as well buff the gearbox better as well.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean, the racing that we had probably in all the years that I've been racing against you, I'd say those 2 races would probably be up there amongst the best.
Yeah, I think the first one was definitely probably the most funnest. Second one would be the one at Manfield, when I picked you on the line. I went around the outside of you on the last corner. Yeah. So that was good. Good time.
I thought you might have been a bit close coming up the straight and round in the first race, but just.
What do you mean a bit close?
Well,
There was no paint exchange. I didn't see any of my yellow paint on your bumper, so.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's also in the video. It doesn't look as hard in the video as it actually was, though.
Oh, I don't know.
Pretty
I might put helmet cap on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed racing in the wet. And if you go to Speed Hive and have a look at the speed comparison for everybody, and you look at the consistency and you can soon work out the drivers that actually trust their tyres and can actually drive in the wet. Because they maybe drop 1 to 2 seconds a lap, but some people were dropping up to 10 seconds. Some people in other yellow cars that I know were like doing donuts and doing off-track excursions.
Be somebody who's also sat on his couch once before.
Well, he has sat on the couch, and he'll probably want to come back and have his say about what happened. But yeah, look, I mean, he didn't do too bad. I mean, yeah, he had a pretty good round, really. Apart from that,
somebody who actually I thought did quite well, another rookie driver that's just started with us. Not too sure of his name, sorry, but the young fella that's driving one of the Integras, the matte black one.
Daniel.
Daniel? Yeah, I think Daniel did really well. There's actually one point in that second race where he passed me on the straight, obviously huge power difference, on the front straight, and I did think that he should probably already be on the brakes. And then when he did hit the brakes, the car sort of, I saw his wheels turn, but the car went straight.
Yeah.
He
I
actually
know how that feels.
yeah, his wheel stayed on the car though, but he went straight over the gravel pit and onto the grass and actually managed to get on. And he finished that race in second, did he not?
Yes.
He actually finished
Second
second overall
yeah.
after going off the track. So I thought, yeah, for somebody who, I don't know if he's got a lot of race experience prior to joining with us, but for 2 rounds, he did a spectacular job out there.
Yeah, to be fair, I was following you,
Yeah.
right? And like literally right up your jacksie, and I could see him coming into turn 1, and I went, you're just not, and I couldn't see anything.
No,
like,
because we were behind somebody with that much spray.
Literally had that much spray. I was just waiting for you to react on your brake lights, right? And then I was going to go down the inside. And I saw your brake lights. Yeah, you sort of did a bit of a tap, and I went, no, it's not a hold. And then I saw him come down the outside of it. I go, no, you're not going to brake. And all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, gone.
You could literally hear it, even with the engine noise and everything else. You could hear the sledge of the tires,
Yes.
straight off the track.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he did really well to actually bring that back.
So I mean, all in all, for a wet race, there was no damage as such. You know, it was clean. It was, and I mean, sure, we were down on numbers, but there was still action packed.
Oh yeah,
even though we
it
didn't
always
have
is. It always is.
You know.
Yeah, the other racing pack in the first race with the 4 cars was also great to watch. Like they all had turns, you know, in that lead of that pack.
Yeah.
So that was,
everybody has their, you know, the sort of sections of the track where they probably trust their car in those conditions a little more than others, and vice versa. So yeah, it always makes for good racing. So
yeah. And it was interesting battling with you because even though we're teammates, we still have a healthy respect and we still want to beat each other, right? And you know, but you would come up to me after the race and you go, oh, I noticed that you take this and this gear, and you know, I hold a little bit more speed through here, and
yeah, I don't want to give away too many tips, but
no, but I mean it all helps, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa. So.
yeah, and that should probably be something that everybody does across the paddock, regardless of if you're in a similar car or not. You know, like if you know that somebody's new or they might be struggling, or even if you just notice that their lines might be a bit off, you know, like swapping stories and ideas and things like that just makes everybody safer and, you know, a little bit faster out there, and it just makes more enjoyable racing for everybody.
yeah,
really.
everybody's there to improve. So
Yeah, for sure.
if you know, like, if you got advice that you think might help them, that's cool. But they don't have to take it. They might think
No,
they've got the better line, and it's
And yeah, we're not racing for any money. You know, they don't even do chocolate fish anymore.
Hey.
Oh yes, we had chocolate fish.
Okay, well,
Matt tried to teach him to
I
swim.
won 2 races and I didn't get a chocolate fish, so we'll be.
Well, they were in the chili bin with the drinks.
No, it's fine.
I saw
Yeah,
him
probably
pouring
find that
water out of
your
it.
kids take them all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So they get out on the table and
Yeah.
they're gone.
No, that'll be true. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I guess the biggest thing for me this round was that Mark Mallow came and had a talk to me after round 1, and said, you need to up your game, right? And you know, like Mark knows pretty much the whole field, and he said to me, you know, like you probably need to just pick your speed up a little bit, and you know, I did. So this round I did. And you were a little bit surprised, and after the first race, you were like,
100%.
Jesus Christ, where did you come from?
Yeah.
Because you cleaned me up on round 1. You just took off. You were 3 seconds up the track.
Yeah.
So yeah, to be within.
Well, to be finishing within a second or so, you know.
Well,
a couple of
half a
seconds.
second. I mean, it was a big split. So.
Yeah, the first race, yeah. So, but yeah, no, definitely a huge improvement. But you should probably cut that out. So.
Yeah, I'll just start shortening your fuel load.
Yeah.
We got any questions on there, Brian? No, nobody's got any questions. Guys, if you got some questions, fire them through. Look, we'll probably run it for another 10 minutes maybe, and then we'll wrap it up. So if you got some questions for them, fire us through. I guess the 45. You want to know what the 45 is? You've got 45 more days until we're back on track again. So plenty of time to get your race cars in prime condition to get to Hampton. it's NZIGP round. It is our round. It's the OK Cup Challenge. So we have the naming rights for it. We'd love to see a big field of cars there. You know, there's no reason we can't have 30 plus cars on the grid. We know there are cars out there, they just need to come out of garages and come. I have been talking to a few people behind the scenes. I know that Glenn Reynolds is coming back. He's had some work commitments. He's building a new car. So that's I've seen pictures of it. It looks good. So he's coming back. Hugh will be back. So he'll be back to give us a run for our money, I'd say, unless we can nobble him somehow.
Yeah.
Just as you said that, we got a question from James Whitlock for Matt.
Yeah.
How do you stop a BMW or Mini from breaking down?
You can't be done.
I think the
You throw
easiest,
lots and lots of money at it.
the easiest way to do that is just not buy one to start with.
John Ward just said don't drive it.
Well, no, I think the easiest way to stop the BMW from breaking down is take the BMW out and just make it a Mini.
Well, that's what I said. Is once I've replaced all the BMW parts that are non-failure points, and have aftermarket ones that aren't BMW, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Just get rid of the BMW.
Because like the Mini Cooper in its day was the thing. It was the car to race.
Alan reckons just sell it.
No,
Just get rid of it.
Not committed now. Once you spend all that money.
Is that Alan Lowndes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ask him how his gearbox is.
Yeah. Did his engine fall out last time? Oh no, that was the other round. Yeah, sorry.
To finish first you got to finish Lounsey.
Yeah.
No, I think the Mini will be fine.
Once
Yeah.
more with feeling.
Yeah.
Look, so we've got 45 days till next round. It's plenty of time to get your cars on the grid.
Yeah.
Then the big one's going to be the round after that, which is Manfield, right? So to give you an idea of what happens in the off season, we sit down and we have this bit of a lolly scramble where we get thrown a whole lot of dates and we have to try and put a season together. And we have 3 different promoters that we have to deal with, and some of those promoters are very quick at coming back to us and accepting dates. Some of them are very slow, and they let you hang out for a while, and you don't really know where you're going to get. The biggest thing.
And there's only a limited range of dates as well. You know,
Correct.
It's not like you can pick every weekend. There's 1 or 2 a month that you got to pick from. So you have to put your dibs in and see what happens.
Yeah. So the things that we were told that we learnt from season 1 was you didn't want to have 2 away dates one after the other, which was my bad. That's all I could get last year. This year I've spread them out so that we've got Manfield, then we've got quite a big break over the Christmas time, and we come back in February and we're at Hampton Downs, and then it's not till March next year that we go to Taupo. So you've got a reasonable amount of time between your away rounds. Unfortunately, it does mean that we've got 1 home round at Hampton and then we've got 1 at Manfield, which is only a fortnight apart. Manfield is a really good technical track, and it's probably my favourite track, apart from Pukekohe, but that's gone. But Manfield's always been, it's technical, it's not an easy track by any means, and the hospitality down there is great.
Oh yeah, fans are good too. Like you don't really always necessarily get fans as such at Hamptons, unless they're already quite, they're already motorsport enthusiasts. But weird thing about Manfield, you go down there and people just bring their kids out, like for the weekend. It's just a weekend
day out for the family.
Yeah, they're just happy to have people there, and so it's always good, and you actually get people up on the grandstands watching, which is quite cool.
And the good thing about Manfield is it's actually a 2-day event for us, because the Friday is included in your registration. So you're getting a full test day on the Friday, and then you've got the racing on the Saturday. And you've got Sunday to drive home. Yes, it's a long way to go, but it's a hell of a good track to learn on. It's a hell of a good track to have battles on, and I just love it.
And with the limited number of tracks available in the North Island, it's an opportunity to try something different. So if you haven't done it, you should try it.
This is the one opportunity you get all season to race that track, because we only go there once. So
Absolutely.
we only go there once. So
Absolutely.
we know it's expensive, you know, everybody to take the cars down there and accommodation and all the rest of that stuff, but you know, the dates are released at the beginning, so there's plenty of time to thing. And again, that whole community thing, like, there's nothing to say that we can't, you know, be booking accommodation together. You know, we're all going to the same place to race against each other, so why not talk to each other and book accommodation together so it's cheaper, you know, or whatever you can do to make costs a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, we're
obviously do, yeah.
we're quite lucky. We've stumbled across a house which is an Airbnb, which is just out the back of the track.
And they're motorsport.
And they're motorsport people too. And you know, we get a house, a 3-bedroom house that we share for the team.
Yeah. And we can book it a year in advance, pretty much almost.
Yeah,
so
and
we get dates.
it's bloody reasonable. I mean, it would be as much as you're paying if you were an individual going to a motel.
Yeah.
So, and we put how many people in there? 6?
Yeah, there's 6 or 7 of us that go down here.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some cheap accommodation to go there. So, look, we know Manfield's going to be tight on the Hampton Downs round, but we urge that, you know, you try and make it. It's a good round. And just as a bit of a teaser, there will be an announcement about Manfield coming up. I need to talk to the other people in OK Cup to make sure that they're okay with it. But yeah, there's something big happening for Manfield.
Too bad if we're not, you've already announced. Something's happening.
Well, it could be a slushy or a chocolate fish.
Yeah, we're getting full-size chocolate fish.
It could be. It could be. You never know.
I think you buy individual.
Yeah, Brian, what do we got? Any more questions on there?
No.
They're very quiet, eh?
Tease one mini.
1,600 followers.
Mainly just roasting Matt.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm used to it, it's fine.
Yeah, look, I've been pretty quiet on
Greg Larson says we need a beer sponsor for this.
A beer sponsor?
Yeah.
That would be true.
Yeah.
Quite happy to accept Coronas.
Yeah.
Actually, Jesus, I hope my personal trainer's not watching because he won't be liking that.
If there's anyone out there that owns a brewery or something like that, or shares a brewery, go for it.
Just a couple of things that some stuff that you need to finish off with. Tyres, we're going to grandfather the Dunlops and the
Hancocks and
Hancocks.
808s. Pretty much any tyre that's been legal before, we'll let you use them up this year, but next year they will be gone. So if you've got any lying around, you want to use them up.
Yeah,
let us
now's
know.
the year to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there will be no more Dunlops in New Zealand unless you import them from Australia,
or unless the Dunlop Racing guy decides to bring them in again. I mean, right now tyres, about what's available isn't going to be the same as what's available next year. So we can't guarantee what the rules for the tyres are going to be next year, but we understand people don't want to have to buy a new tyre brand every year, so we're trying to be consistent. But we've got to make a selection based on what's available and what suits our series.
Yeah, so the 2 tyres that are what we call the legal tyres this year are the Sistinos and the Yokos.
Yep.
You know, from the feedback that we've had so far, there's mixed on both of them.
Yeah, benefits for both. I mean, there's price benefits, there's performance in the wet, there's a whole bunch of different. They feel different, they drive different. So yeah, people have their own preference. If you are getting the Yokohamas, make sure you contact Tyreworks New Lynn to get them because he'll give you the best deal, unless you've got a direct Yoko contact. But he's committed to giving us really good pricing. So and for Zestinos, just contact Jared directly.
Yep, absolutely. And Jared, I mean, he will give you a good price on his tyres. But he'll also give you good technical advice as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty of people walking around the pits on the weekend going, you know, what pressure should I be running? You know, what's my hot pressure? What's my cold pressure?
He's got so much knowledge. You can look at how your tyres are wearing and let you know what you can try to fix that.
Yep.
Obviously, with standard cars and standard suspension, you can't add all the camber or all the toe or whatever that you need sometimes, but you can at least point you in the right direction to make them last a bit longer and get the best grip out of them.
We've got some more comments here, guys. Jimmy Max is on the roasting Matt thing. Matt, I've got a Holden Astra manual if you're interested and need another car.
Holden Astra.
James has just said the points have been updated on the website.
Jesus, that's right at the end?
Yeah.
Well, everybody, they're on the website.
Okay, so the points are on the
Am I
website.
winning? Am I winning? How's the mini doing?
Okay, let's.
While he's doing that, if anyone wants to be involved with the organisation, let us know if you can help out.
Barbecue. You want to talk about barbecue?
Help out with the barbecue, help out with checking over cars, help out with administration, anything that you think you can do that might help us. We're all open to offers. I think it's good to get everyone involved. Makes feel more like a community if you're all helping each other out. So don't just be loners and stand around next to your car and wait for us to come and ask you to do stuff. Come and volunteer.
Yeah, look, I mean, we want it to be a community. We want you guys to be involved. And Matt was fortunate enough, or unfortunate enough, not to be running this weekend, and he got to see what it's like to run the barbecue. And it's literally, as soon as the guys come off the track, they want to put the cars onto trailers. They come and grab a sausage. Yeah. They have their feed. They have their prize going in. They're out.
I know firsthand. Once I finish my race, I don't want to faff around at the track. I want to get on the way home because you've got the rest of your weekend to sort out. Or
especially if the last race, if we're the last ones of the day.
If it's a late day.
You already know it's starting to get dark and everything. So yeah, I mean, if there's somebody that's able to, get on the barbecue while we're out there on the second race, whether that be because you're not running or you're just there supporting somebody or whatever, it's massive help.
Partners.
Yeah, and it's not so bad now because like I've got the big trailer, so it makes it easy to get in there and chop up onions and butter bread and get stuff done. Just don't leave crumbs in it again, please.
Sorry, I was doing it outside on the table in the rain, but the gazebo.
Well, if you had stayed out there, that gazebo wouldn't have flown away.
No, that was when I was going talking to James. Come back, it was like.
Oh, so it was your fault
Where
that
the
the
hell did it
gazebo
go?
fell on your car.
I think it was whoever tied it to the tyres didn't do a very good job. Just saying.
Yeah. But there was no damage, right?
I didn't look. I'm too scared to look.
Good, thanks. Don't.
Leave it that way.
Yeah.
All right.
So points are up. Are you going to announce them now, or just going to?
No, so James has just said they're not actually on the website.
They're not.
Warren's updating them now.
They will be up.
They'll be up tonight.
Replay this video
Yeah.
in a future day.
Yeah, what we'll do is the reason that we've streamed it live this time is that last time the editing process took about 5 times longer than actually recording.
And it
These guys talk too much.
And it turns out everything we say is gold, so you didn't even need to do that. So we may as well just run it live, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my thanks to you for not swearing.
I was
so
just going to say I haven't said the F word once somehow.
Well, not.
Another question, John Wood. Out of interest, what would it take to do a few 1 hour rounds throughout the season?
Well, we do one.
We do the finale is always a 1 hour.
Yeah.
It's just hard for
The BMWs. They suffer.
well, and for the 2 driver teams and for scheduling. They're going.
Yeah, look, you got to understand that to be a series like we are, we have to fit into certain criteria. If we go to a 1 hour format, it would mean we'd only get 1 race a day, right? Because our grid says that we get 1 qualifying at 15 minutes and we get 2 33-minute races. If we change our format, we would have to go shorter sprint races, which means you could have 2 sprint races and a longer one. But then you're really up to what the promoters are going to allow you to do.
Yeah, I mean we could request it at the next season if we wanted to do that, if there's a desire for it.
Yeah.
33-minute races are less hard on your car, and you get time between races to fix or repair, improve things.
Yeah.
Get you up and running for the next race. If you've got 1 race and you I don't know, you break down in the first 5 minutes, you lose both races. Where if you had time to fix your car, then you can still race in the second race. So there's benefits. Obviously, endurance racing is fun. Yeah.
I'd also like to do the international track at Hamptons. One round would be cool because obviously we're forced to do so many rounds at Hampton now with Pukekohe closing. So to have one of those rounds, preferably in the middle of all those Hamptons.
They don't often offer that. Though.
Yeah,
it's specific for certain events. I've got
If to try and get into one of those higher class
Look,
events.
I'll put a plug out for Martin and Kim for production racing series. They've gone and hired the track
for
for one day.
Yeah, I saw
right?
that.
It's not a race meeting. It's actually a track day.
Yeah.
But you get to run the whole track.
I think it might be full by now. There's only
Yeah,
there was
probably
only
is.
so many
five
entries
spots
left.
left yesterday.
But I can tell you that it's a very expensive way.
Yeah.
You know, I've been racing now 5 years, 6 years. I've only ever had the opportunity to race on it once. And I didn't do it. I actually had to get a reserve driver to come in because I rolled my ankle, and that was Marcus came in and drove it, and he came in and went, oh, I don't want to do that again.
I'd just like to,
international track.
I'd like to race the international track once. Yeah.
I've raced it once. I didn't like it.
No, not many people
The
do.
club circuit part of Hampton Downs is all in the wrong gear ratios for most of our cars. It's like right at the top of second and bottom of third gear. The whole thing is just kind of the wrong gear, and it's just not fun. The rest of the track, Hampton Downs is better.
Okay.
Interesting.
In my opinion.
Enough. I went and did driver education training on the national on
The club track.
on the club track.
Yeah.
And in a Toyota in an '86, you virtually go around in a third gear.
Yeah.
The whole track.
Yeah, you probably could, and like the Honda, when I was racing it, it was like third's just not quite enough, so you drop down to second, and then you're back to third, then you're back to second, then you're back to third. Yeah.
But when you add it to the national track as well,
The long straight up,
That
up to
straight
turn
into
two,
the back.
whatever the new turn two would be, is that is good to have a new
I've-
braking point.
I have seen some people get horribly wrong through there.
Yeah.
That and the double bastard. The double bastard catches a lot of people out.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge, but I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it that much. What I would like to do is, I've heard that they can run Manfield in reverse.
No, they can't.
Well, they can't.
No,
So
it's one of
it's
those
a
wide
rumor.
styles.
Okay.
Yes, because if you do that, you completely throw the FIA out the window.
Yeah, well, I
It's
thought maybe
only
they had the
authorised-
runoff areas signed
No,
up.
it's
for it.
only
Okay.
authorised to go one way.
Okay. Oh, that's a shame. That would have been something different.
The only track that was ever designed to go the other way around is Hampton Downs. And
It was
and
made
that
for
was
motorbikes.
because it was a motorcycle track.
Yeah.
But that was right back in the early days when they
Yeah.
first looked at designing the track.
I guess the safety and the bureaucracy side of it makes it not worth them trying.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
just one of those things. And you got to think of the signage would all be the wrong way around. Your stop go lights would all got to be reversed.
Yeah.
It's just there's a
Details.
whole,
Details. I could
There's
do
a
it.
whole bunch of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
A couple of
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
But hey, look, 45 days ago. Let's get you at the next round. We want to make round 3 the most successful round ever because it is our Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
We also want to see you at Manfield straight after that, and then you have this massive Christmas break until we get to February. And then after that we've got February, March, April, I think it is. You'd think I would know this stuff. Sorry, May. Right, so there's another big one before we go to the last 1 hour, which is the finale, which will be in May. So we've got a pretty big season. We are the only series in the country which is running a 7-round series. You know, and that in itself is a tribute to how successful OK Cup has become in its second season. So we just need you guys to vote with your feet and get your cars out and come and have some fun because
And
Because it is fun.
it is fun. And you need to support your sponsors. They're the ones that are allowing us to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Without the sponsors, we wouldn't be financially able to run the series. So
absolutely.
support them.
So you know, SAS Auto Sports,
Auto parts, auto spares,
Auto Parts,
auto spares,
Auto Parts.
auto parts,
Auto
auto
parts.
something.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
Auto Parts, Code 9, Royale, Anglo Engineering,
24 Red.
24 Red, Soft Source Beverage, and Burst NZ. And right, we're going to sign off, and we're going to give you the last hurrah, so you can say hello to your sponsors, and you can
Hello to the sponsors. Thanks to obviously Burst NZ for sponsoring my car this season, and Anglo for also sponsoring us. Royans, Accident Transport and Repairs. And you guys, all the guys out there that are watching that also race, you guys make it fun, obviously, and everybody else that follows the community page that doesn't necessarily race but comes out to support. Yeah, and just everybody that makes OK Cup, pretty much. Cool.
It's got to be okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. I wish we could
Thanks,
play
guys.
the music.
We can sing.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
See you on the next one.